What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, thank you for checking out this video. I'm a little late to the party, I'm not going to lie, but apparently there's a documentary about sports cards and trading cards on YouTube called Behind the Card. I had no idea about this. This released in 2022. I don't know when, probably sometime around the fall of 2022. Again, I had no idea about it, but I watched it. And I have some of my opinions and thoughts about it that I want to share with you guys because it was actually a really cool documentary to kind of see before, during, and after the pandemic, to kind of get the insights and opinions about some influencers in this hobby. So it was really, really cool. My favorite part was when the hobby shops, the brick and mortar hobby shops, were sharing their thoughts and opinions about the hobby. So that was really cool. But I'm going to break down my takeaways from that documentary, and you guys can check it out on YouTube. I will leave a link to the video in the description below. So there was a plethora of opinions from a variety of people, like influencers, hobby shops, Panini, spokesperson from Panini, PWCC, Beckett, and even the Raiders running back Josh Jacobs. So it was really cool to get different opinions and different outlooks from a variety of people, kind of all over the spectrum of the hobby. Covered the hobby prior to COVID, I kind of mentioned this, but before, during, and after COVID, it was really cool to see the different eras of the hobby covered. The different eras referring to like a 5, 6, 7 year window, right? Before 2020, 2020 with COVID, 21, and a little bit of 22, and then obviously post the COVID era. As a shop, it was nice to hear other shops speak during the documentary. I just didn't want to hear Jeff Wilson, Steve Aoki. I didn't want to hear them all just throughout the entirety of the documentary. I didn't want to hear Panini or PWCC just talking the entire time. It was cool to actually hear sports card shop owners give their insights, their take, what they saw, what they experienced through the pandemic and the hobby's revolution, right? As a brick and mortar shop, I greatly appreciate that. And there's still constant battles in this hobby with online retailers, online breakers, eBay. So it was just really cool to hear their insight about how they tackled the pandemic and how they're conducting and operating business. So that was a really cool segment that I really enjoyed. Another thing was they really went in depth on the importance of grading. They showed a bit of the Beckett behind the scenes since they were one of the speakers on the documentary. One thing I didn't really like about this was, I'm sure it was just like an example to, for some B-roll, but graders being carefree of your cards and not wearing gloves. I didn't really like that. If you're going to have some B-roll, show a sample of what you do and how you grade cards. At least make it look authentic as possible. They just took random cards and they were just, kind of doing this with it and all that. And like, they weren't being gentle with the card. And that is something that really was like, hey, I don't want that to be my card. So I hope that's not their full process, is them just kind of manhandling the card like that. I'm hoping they're wearing gloves, they got the magnifying glass, they got the light shining, and really being careful with your card. And then the last point that I had is it highlighted the market trends prior, during, and through COVID. I know I touched upon this a couple times, but actually highlighting the specific market trends, whether it's baseball players, hot quarterbacks, basketball draftees, rookies, just a bunch of different market trends throughout, before, during, and after. So not just the state of the hobby, but again, the different ups and the downs and the trends, the lefts and the rights of the hobby were also highlighted from before, during, and after COVID. And then my last takeaway is Vegas Dave. He's a character, little annoying, very full of himself. Kind of kept the documentary light and funny with his personality and persona, but my goodness, is he full of himself. But those are my breakdowns, my thoughts, my opinions about the Behind the Card documentary on YouTube. Again, I will link it down below in the description, at the top of the description, for you to view if you wish. That's going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed today's video, I've already queued up an excellent video right here for you guys that I do believe is going to be excellent for your hobby endeavors. Hopefully, I'll see you in that one. We'll be right back.